Wind River movie review. Quick review for Wind River, the film that's named after the Indian reservation. I guess we do go on the reservation. We're near a town called Lander as well. And I looked it up. It is a real town. I was like, what if it's like fictional town near the reservation? The reservation's real, but it makes sense that the reservation's real. The town is real, Lander. So we're in Lander, Wyoming, Wind River Indian Reservation area, right? I recognize the dad. The guy that plays the dad of the deceased girl, I recognize his face. And then Jeremy Renner, of course. And then John Bernthal, he's in this film as well. He plays the boyfriend. And so because we don't know what happened to the girl, if maybe they're speculating, maybe the boyfriend killed her. Maybe she had a man and he killed her, he hurt her. And the guy, even when they tell her brother about the death, and the brother, at first because they think maybe the brother has a connection to it, he knows something, but we find out the brother doesn't know what happened to his sister. But he was aware that she was dating a white man. Of course, this is John Bernthal. And that, how do you call it? He says, like, oh, that cracker did something to her. And that's something we learned. Okay, so it's a white guy that she was with, and he said it was, because she uses the past tense. I think it was her. She uses the past tense word, and he catches that, and he's like, well, hold up. You said had, like you said that word implying like it was happening, but not anymore. And like, well, how come? Why is that? And we see him like in the distance. He's like wailing and screaming, because he just learned his sister died. Her mom starts cutting herself, and they show it's quite graphic in the scene. They show her arms have slit. She's cut, and then she's going to cut her hand, and I don't know. But the husband doesn't intervene in this. He lets his wife do this. Even the cop that's there, he doesn't make a fuss of it either. Which I guess maybe a cultural shock, maybe perhaps, I don't know. We're like a really rural. We're just in a rural area, We're like out in the middle of vast nothingness, is it? And I like the cop guy. I was sad when he got shot. I had a feeling because it looked like he got shot. He was holding his hand on the neck, and I'm like, okay, he definitely did get shot. But he has a brief moment where he stands upright, and he kind of just sort of stationary there, and then he tumbles over. He's dead. But what do you call? I was like thinking in my head. I like that guy character. I like this character. I like Jeremy Renner's character in this. He's a divorced dad. They're divorced, but they have a kid. And I like that he's married to a native woman. He's married to an indigenous woman. So kind of like, it kind of fits the vibe. And he's like he's the only wildlife game type cop. He's a cop for like the forestry. He's the only cop that's in this area for this. They're low on resources. They're low on cops. I think when they go in and they meet up with some other guys, I think those other guys, I don't know if they were necessarily his men or they were from another town. They're like volunteering, let's make a little squad and let's go. And they drive out to like this oil work site place. How do you call? And I guess it's quite far. It's a good drive, is it, to this place, wherever it is. And oh my God, what was I thinking now? The girl, I guess they somehow pinpointed that she might have ran from that place onward or something. I don't quite know. We know that the girl, the FBI chick, she's from Fort Lauderdale, right? She mentions like, oh, well, how far do you think she ran? She says this to Jeremy Renner's character, and he says to her, I guarantee you, like, it depends on the person's will to live. But he was pretty positive to say, I guarantee you, however far you think she ran, she probably ran 3 times that. Like, she really was running for her life. And whoever, I don't know, I guess these guys, she probably was like, it was 6 miles. It was like, because they're so far remote, they're like off the main road, like 6 miles from the nearest road, basically, their location. And we could speculate that she probably was running in the direction of the road, right? That's what she was doing. She was running in the direction of the road. She gotta get help. It was she came to visit the guy, the boyfriend, right? And they had a good time. They made love. And then his friends, they mentioned like, oh, I thought they were gone for the weekend. They're still here, and like, yeah, me too. But so apparently the work buddies weren't gone. It's only the one buddy that starts to antagonize John Bethel's character, and with this that we get it. What was I thinking of in my head? You know, he's saying to the guy, hey, like I told you, get him out of my room. It's got like a shade, and you can close the blind shade. Because these trailers, like, it makes sense that, like, if you live on this, you don't get the trailer to yourself. You have to share it. And we know they were familiar with the girlfriend. She has come on the work site before to see him, right? But yeah, they're drunk. Bottom line, they get in an argument, and it really goes sour. It goes down sour really fast, and they end up killing him. I don't know if we ever see his body per se. Well, I guess presumably they would find it eventually, or maybe they dragged out in the woods and got eaten. Because I'm pretty sure they fucking killed him. They probably fucking killed him, and so, but like, she was getting raped. It's quite a gross scene. They even got a side view shot, so it's quite graphic. There is a graphic rape scene in this film, and which actually, it makes you, like, when you see that guy escape, and like, no, we don't want him to live. We want him to die. The girl, she's like, hey, give me your radio. I'm gonna call for the helicopter. It's the only way I can live. If I call for a helicopter to come pick me up, everyone else is dead. She's the only one that survived in the shootout, and Jeremy Renner, he says to her, like, you know, if I go after him, I'm not bringing a body back. Like, I'm not bringing him back. I ain't bringing him back. You know that. And she's like, yeah, I don't care at this point. You know, you do what you feel like you must, and that's it. He got a confession out of him. He gets a confession out of the guy. This is the rapist guy. This is the guy that did the rape. This is the guy that instigated everything, basically. It's And he said, like, and what about the boy? What about that dude? You beat him to death? Did you beat him to death? Actually, he did say that. He's like, yeah. You know, he got a confession for both murders, right? Double homicide for this guy. And he said, well, you know what? Since you gave me the confession, I'll honor my word. I'll let you go. And I'm going to give you the odds that you gave her, which is, you know, run 6 miles to the nearest road, and then would see if you can do it, you know. Barefoot, too, because she was barefoot. And sure enough, the guy does this, and what do you call? He dies pretty quickly. But then again, he did get shot. He got shot in the legs, actually, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe the lower abdomen. He definitely got shot by the girl. And what do you call? And his feet were frostbitten. You can see, like, oh fuck, they're like dead tissue on it. And his face is all, he was not in a good state, so the odds were not stacked against him. But he died pretty quickly, did he? He got the lungs, and he dies on top of the mountain somewhere. I think actually, Jeremy Renner's character, he might have taken him to the tallest peak in Wyoming, if I'm mistaken. I think he took him to the tallest peak in Wyoming. And what else? What do you call Jeremy Reynolds' character? What do you call, what was I thinking of in my head? I was thinking of something in my head. Can't quite think of it right now. Jeremy Renner. He was supposed to be a weekend with the sun. He's supposed to be hang out with the sun, you know, quality time, but of course the work gets in the way. And I don't know if we see the son after a certain period in the film. Actually, the ex-wife, she's moving to Jackson Hole. So she's still going to be in the country, still in the state, right? She's still going to be in Wyoming. So she's moving further west. I looked at the map. Lander's, like, I want to say it's, if I'm correct, it's more central, west central. And this is like far west. This is like near the state line. Near Grand Teton National Park, right? The Jackson Hole, and we know that there's a joke in the film that said the billionaires price out the millionaires. Like, it's so expensive, even the millionaires can't live there. It's too expensive for them. It's like just billionaires there, and then the low wage workers. But what do you call with this film? What was I thinking of in my head? I was thinking of something. I like that you got that in the kids. So it's kids, like, growing up between two cultures, half native, half white. I thought that was cool because I feel like it's like a realistic, you know, like the people here, they're probably a lot of intermixing, a lot of intermingling between the two groups. Is it the two dominant groups in these areas where there's like a high indigenous population, right? But what was I saying in my head? Thinking of something with Wind River. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I liked the satisfying. You feel so glad to see this guy die after what he did, the heinous things, and that the girl lived. I was sad though that the police chief died. I was sad that he died. And then there's a scene where the two guys are loading their guns. The one cop and the one villain guy are loading their pistols, and the villain guy wins, right? He kills the cop first. But I like that the cop said, "Let's go, motherfucker," you know, like, let's go. And then they're loading and they're got a point at each other. Yeah. And it was a blessing actually that Jeremy Renner, he actually goes off on a different route. There was only one thing in the film that seemed funny, and it was when he saw the mama cougar, mountain lion in the den with the cubs, mind you, because he wasn't alone in there. And he's standing right at the entrance. And I remember I was watching with my girlfriend. She's like, "Man, you better get away from there. Like, move away from that mama. You gotta get mauled, bro." You're like, wouldn't that? I feel like wouldn't it be on edge? And like, there's a human standing at the entrance, but she doesn't. She just stays in there, and he shines the light around and inside the castle. He knows that's why he sees it, but. What do you call it? And that's actually what the footprints were. The footprints were the animal, right? Was it? I like this movie, Wind River. Thank you for listening.